Joined now by a familiar name and voice to Cape Breton Eagles fan, now former Cape Breton Eagle and current St. John Sea Dog, Angelo Fullerton. Angelo, game one of the season against your old team. How surreal is it to be starting your 20-year-old season against Cape Breton?
It's pretty special. Definitely never would have thought it kind of would have went like that, but I'm super glad that our home opening weekend is going to be against my old team. Looking forward to it and making sure the boys are also going to be ready to go because it's going to be a big one for me for sure.
You spent 3 years in Cape Breton, so I'm sure there's some sadness leaving the Eagles, but at the same time, it must also be a dream for you to get to play in your hometown. Did you ever think you'd get to play for the Sea Dogs?
Obviously, as a little kid, going to the game, you always dream of putting on the jersey. It's definitely a really special kind of moment for me when I heard that I was going to be on the team, and I'm looking forward to the season. But yeah, being in Cape for 3 great years, having such an amazing billet family with Dan and Yvonne Ryan, meeting all the people I met, it's definitely tough to hear this summer that I wasn't going to be back, but it's an opportunity here in St. John for me to play my 20th season, and I couldn't be happier to be home.
Well, we talk about family. I should shout out Matt Saunders as I was messaging about Eagles-related stuff. So you do have some family connections in Cape Breton. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to have family up in Cape. Matt was obviously a loyal fan since I've been there. I was always leaving him tickets up in the box office for him and his little boy Caleb to come to the games. It's definitely really cool when you have family, especially a little guy like Caleb kind of looked up to me. That's always a little extra motivation when you have some familiar faces around.
Very unique situation in training camp for both you and Nathan Etche, who are 20-year-olds on this St. John team. In both of your cases, you end up coming over in loan trades, so you don't know for sure whether the deal is official. What was the communication like from the Eagles and Sea Dogs management when they made that trade? Were you pretty confident that you had a really good chance to make the team?
I got a call from Sly maybe late July. If it was August, super early into August. It was a pretty quick turnaround for me. Our training camp started on the 16th of August. I only had a couple of weeks to know where I was going to be trying out for. I trained super hard all summer. Wherever it was going to be, I was going to be ready to go. But I got the call from Sly that I was going to be going on a loan. And then shortly after, a call from Travis, our head coach and GM here in St. John. And he just said, we're looking forward to bringing you in on a loan, see what you can kind of show us. And obviously, I have a lot of confidence in myself. I think I'm a good player, and playing as a 20-year-old for a reason. I think I had a great camp and gave them no reason but to take me. It all ended up working out.
Talking to former Eagles forward Angelo Fullerton, who finds himself as a 20-year-old in the St. John Sea Dogs this season. Given that you're a veteran in the league, how much pressure do you feel to be a leader on this young Sea Dogs team?
I wouldn't call it pressure necessarily. I think it's more of a role that I'm looking forward to embracing and something that I'm very capable of doing. I view myself as a friendly face that guys should feel comfortable coming to if they have questions and have experience in this league. So being a leader, it's something that you carry with honor, and I look forward to being an older guy on this team and showing and leading these younger guys kind of the ropes and having a good season here.
You were the hero in that 5 OT game against Baie-Comeau. Had a couple of goals in that series. How surreal is that night when you look back on it? How much have you gone back to revisit it, and how special was that moment for you?
It was definitely the highlight of my career so far. It was just such a unique game that nobody's ever going to forget. Just being a part of that game alone is really special, but obviously scoring the goal that kind of gets recognized, especially in Cape Breton, but around the league, it's pretty cool. Definitely revisited the highlights from that game a couple times over the summer, and when I got home for the summer, every time I would see a friend or a familiar face, they would bring it up, so it was hard to not talk about it.
A great goal and a great move by you, and a great pass from Thomas Lavoie as well. As we record, we don't know if we'll see him this weekend. How did that post-game celebration between you develop, and how special was it doing on that night after you teamed up for that historic goal?
The celebration, I don't really remember, to be honest, when it started. We definitely started doing it off the ice before we did it on the ice. One day, we were probably just in the gym, messing around or whatever, and all of a sudden, just this handshake came to us, and we kept adding to it until we had the final product that we did after wins on the ice. That was a cool little thing me and him had. We were two of the last ones to get off the ice, so kind of doing that would fire up the fans. I think we got some good pictures from Jamie Lee with the handshake, so it was a cool little thing between us.
Of course, you move on from Cape Breton. Another guy who moved on in the offseason is assistant coach Matt Anthony, but did Angelo Fullerton make a point to give him a WhatsApp message after the Falcons beat the Vikings on Monday Night Football this week?
No, I didn't. I didn't even think to, actually. But now that you say that, maybe I will fire him a quick message.
Fair to blame me then, I guess, if that goes his way. He's doing his best to keep up with the time change over there in Russia. Last year, all the talk, you and a couple other Eagles players were involved in that car accident. A tough couple of first months trying to recover from that. How different was this off season? Do you feel kind of fully recovered from that? And how nice was it to have an off season where you could train properly?
Obviously, that was a big event that happened last year and wasn't easy for any of the three of us involved or the team. But I think this September, having been fully recovered, being able to partake in all of training camp and the preseason, definitely a big positive going into this year. I think coming into last year, kind of halfway through the year, it was tough, not only physically with the injury, but mentally. The team had already got going. Guys were kind of already playing together and gelling. So trying to come back into the lineup and then fit in, it was a bit tough. But here, having that full training camp and preseason to kind of gel with guys, get to know this new group of guys, get on the ice with them, practice, it's been really good. And I'm really looking forward to being out there for the first game of the year.
Great opportunity for you. Lastly, we'll talk about this upcoming season. Do you envision a different role, maybe a bit more of an offensive player? And can you believe your junior career is in its final season?
When it comes to the role I have, I think sticking to my strengths will continue to get me to the places I've gotten throughout my career. Obviously, there's a little bit of expectation being a 20-year-old, being one of the more go-to guys, but I don't think that's something that I'm really thinking about, to be honest. I'm going to bring that hard work ethic, that responsible two-way game every night, and then hopefully the point production goes up a bit. But I'm not the type of guy to be looking at, if I got an assist or a goal after the game. I'm more of, okay, did the team get the win? Did we get the job done? Did I do what I could do to help the team get the win? That's what I'm going to bring, and I'm not too worried about changing my game. I'm going to keep doing what I've done to help the team win.
Fans in St. John will enjoy getting to do that now that you're back in your hometown, as fans here in Cape Breton did the last 3 years. Wish you all the best this season, Angelo. Thanks for this.
Thank you, Pat. Always love talking to you.
Certainly lots of fun talking to Angelo over the years, joining us here at the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.